You Have the Power is a nonprofit that educates, advocates, and empowers victims and communities impacted by crime. Many of us will hear stories about sex trafficking or other crimes and not think of it as affecting our own backyard. Unfortunately, it is right here, and it affects many, many walks of life. You Have the Power serves the community in a multitude of ways. Not only if somebody has been victimized, we can help them find the resources they need to regain their stability and help bring awareness to a number of issues to help these people and communities be stronger and safer.
Victims have knowledge that needs to be shared with others, because sometimes that information can help someone else avoid being a victim. And their voice and their experience is very important.
For 25 years, You Have the Power has offered powerful programs to promote healing and accountability.
If they can understand what their actions did to their family as well as their victims' families, they are less likely to become a repeat offender.
We want people to be accountable. We want them to make amends.
I'm Congressman Jim Cooper. I have the privilege of representing all the good people of Nashville, Tennessee in the 5th District. I want to thank my friend Andrea Conti, the former First Lady of Tennessee, and all the good folks at You Have the Power, because once again this year they've selected 8 of the most incredible young people in America. So I'm just so proud of all of you. I want to remember and cherish your names. As I say, what you've already accomplished is awesome, and I look forward to even bigger and better things in the future.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Morgan, one of the co-chairs of this year's 2021 Powerhouse Awards. First, I want to thank all of the sponsors of this year's event. I've worked with You Have the Power for nearly 3 years now, and during that time, I've been able to see the amazing work that You Have the Power does to support victims and to work towards ending violent crime. Sponsorships like yours make that possible. I'm also really excited about this year's honorees. These 8 young people have gone out of their way to help their community and to advocate for others, and I'm glad that we're able to recognize them here tonight. Thank you again for tuning in and for helping You Have the Power continue its great work. We hope you enjoy the program.
Hi, my name is Melanie Davenport, and I am the co-chair of this year's events. Welcome to the 9th Annual Powerhouse Awards. I am so honored to work with You Have the Power. I am always inspired by their commitment to empowering those who were impacted by violent crime. I'm so happy that this year's nominees include young Tennesseans who are willing to provide acts of service during a very difficult time in our history. These nominees are a true representation of the power and strength of their generation. Thank you very much to our sponsors, donors, and attendees. We could not put on a program such as this without you. I hope that you enjoy the show.
Hey, good evening. Damon Heiniger, President and CEO of Core Civic. Hope you're all doing well tonight. I just want to say to Kathy and the entire team over there at You Have the Power, congratulations on another great evening tonight with the 9th Annual Powerhouse Awards, recognizing a lot of wonderful individuals in our community. You know, we are extremely grateful for our partnership with You Have the Power. You guys just do tremendous work and just grateful for your mission and all that you do. So enjoy the evening. Again, thank you so much for the partnership and all that you do in our community.
And good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for You Have the Power's 9th year of the Powerhouse Awards. I'm John Siegenthaler. I'll be your host tonight. I'm proud to be with you. It's also my pleasure and honor to serve on the board of You Have the Power. I want to thank our president, our board president, Victor Wynn, who's the executive pastor of the Temple Church, which is where we are tonight, for hosting us here this evening. He and his team have done an amazing job producing the show you're about to see. So Victor, thank you for everything. Thank you so much for all you do. This is a kind of hybrid event. We have some people here in the church, this beautiful church, and we also have all of you online. So thank you for watching. If you happen to be watching the ceremony tonight on Facebook, on the You Have the Power Facebook, can you please post it and share the event with others so that they can watch these awards tonight? We have a great program for you. Before we begin this evening, let me tell you a little bit about You Have the Power. We were founded in 1993 by former First Lady of Tennessee, Andrea Conti, who began to bring people together whose lives have been touched by crime. You Have the Power focuses on education, prevention, and policy through the lens of survivors. We produce documentaries, resource guides on several contemporary issues such as crime prevention, sexual abuse, human trafficking, sexual assault, and providing safety training sessions for caregivers, educators, and the public. You Have the Power has developed and implemented a victim impact curriculum for adults in prison and for at-risk youth that is delivered through community groups. This year, we began to offer a new curriculum for businesses to develop a policy to help their staff and their clients who may be victimized by domestic violence. We're extremely proud of the great work You Have the Power is doing throughout the community, especially during COVID over the last year, and yet there's still so much work to do. We celebrate our hardworking staff, our volunteers, our board members, and our great supporters like many of you joining us tonight. Thank you very much. By the way, if you'd like to donate to You Have the Power, just go to yhtp.com and you'll find the donate button there. Tonight, we are here to honor the great work of 8 young women and men from across the state of Tennessee, all who are members of a generation we refer to as Gen Z, but they're just great young people. And many of them are here tonight. Before we recognize these outstanding young adults, I want to introduce you to someone very special, my friend Kathy Gurley, the Chief Executive Officer of You Have the Power, to tell you more about how we got here tonight. Kathy.
Thank you, John, and thank all of you for joining us. You Have the Power, Powerhouse Award, Virtual Edition. It's been over a year since we've been able to greet you and celebrate some of the people and great work being done in our state. To date, thanks to technology, we're going to salute a generation shining a bright light throughout Tennessee and beyond. But first, I'd like to do a shout out to our sponsors who made tonight possible. Our event sponsors, the Change Makers, Andrea Conti and Phil Bredesen, Core Civic, HCA Healthcare, TriStar Health, part of the HCA Healthcare family of hospitals. Our People's Powerhouse sponsors are Judy and David Baer, Victor and Alicia Wynn, Tricor, Pinnacle Financial Partners, and Bassberry and Sims. And to the advocates, Gerald and Donna Nicely, Mark and Sherry Deutschman, Tori and Mary Layden Johnson, the Pam Lewis Foundation, First Horizon Bank, the Predators, and the Glazer Group at Truist Wealth. And our champions for change, John and Beth Huff, Judge Linda Jones, Steve and Judy Turner, Melanie Davenport, Sam and Leslie Weisner Lynch, John Siegenthaler and Carrie Brock, thanks John, Bob and Irma Paz Bernstein, Hope Stringer, the Islamic Center of Nashville, the Dalton Agency, Our Kids, and Trogger and Tube. Some of you are enjoying the presentation from the homes of these sponsors, enjoying a wonderful meal and beverages provided by the Corner Market and Westmead Wine and Liquor Market. You met Melanie and Sarah, our co-chairs, but I also want to do a shout out to Judy Baer, Phoebe Evans, Kim Hatley, Tina Whitley, and Victor Wynn, their committee. It is the generosity of donors like this that You Have the Power is able to produce the resource guides, curriculums, and presentations. We're grateful for their time and donations. If you would like to volunteer, visit our website. 2020 is not a year any of us will soon forget. A pandemic ravaged the world, significantly closing off communities. Many already marginalized and living with hunger, joblessness, households and communities surrounded by violence. They found the world closing them out even more. As we spun into a rabbit hole of darkness, You of the Power saw some light, and it came from the young men and women known collectively as Gen Z. To sum up their action, I'm going to borrow an advertising phrase from one of our event sponsors, HCA Healthcare. We show up. That is precisely what Gen Z did. They showed up for those in need. I hope you enjoy meeting 8 of these outstanding young men and women. We certainly did.
Thank you, Kathy. And as Kathy mentioned, many of you are enjoying tonight's presentation, tonight's celebration at home, hopefully with friends and family. I'd like for you to meet one of our founding board members who was recently awarded the distinction of Lifetime Board Member of You Have the Power and is one of our greatest and hardest working supporters. We're now going to go to the home of David and Judy Baer, and let's welcome Lifetime Board Member Judy Baer. Judy, how are you?
Hey, John, I'm great. We're having a fine time here, enjoying good food from Corner Market and good wine from Westmead.
Can you talk a little bit about why you decided to hold a party tonight?
Oh, sure. Most of my friends know that I'm very involved with You Have the Power, but I don't think many of them really understand what it is we do. And I thought this was a perfect opportunity to get them an up-close and personal look at the people we honor who make it possible for us to do the work for the people we serve. And I think everybody here is as excited as I am about these incredible young people who are receiving awards tonight. They are truly the role models for the next generation of leaders. And we tip our hats to them. They have our gratitude, and we're just delighted to be honoring these incredible people tonight.
Well, Judy, thank you for everything you do for You Have the Power and for this community, and have fun tonight. It's great to see you. So, before we move on, I'd just like to remember our former president of the board, Patsy Bruce, who passed away this year. She was a pioneer in the music business and an incredible community volunteer and leader, and we miss her very much. And so we want to thank Patsy for all the great work that she did for You Have the Power over the years. Let me introduce the founder and chairman of the board of You Have the Power, the former First Lady of the state of Tennessee, Andrea Conti.
For all the short people out there, there's always a stool. Thank you, John, and thank you, Victor, for hosting this event in this beautiful sanctuary as we honor 8 remarkable Tennesseans. But first, I want to give you some background. In 2018, the Pew Research Center found that a majority of American teens feared a shooting would happen in their very own school. Schools across the country held lockdown drills, and at least one of those schools was in Metro Nashville-Davidson County. Then COVID-19 challenged students further when they were locked out of their classrooms, and that disrupted not only their learning, but all of the socialization. And that hit like a tsunami, because that's a time in your life when friendships are everything and how you start learning about the world. But despite these threats, these young people showed strength and resolve, and they emerged as agents of change. and they stood their ground for safety, fairness, equality. And you are fearless. Thank you. Young leaders made things happen, and almost instinctively knowing that when you want to change the world, you have to start where you are. You have to start in your own proverbial backyard. They organized clothing drives, provided food to families, put a spotlight on mental health, supported other students, spoke out about sexual assault and domestic violence, and became political activists. You Have the Power is proud to recognize young leaders who made their communities a safer place and a better place. Each honoree will be presented with the first edition of the book Roots, written by Alex Haley, who lived in Henning, Tennessee. His book was translated into 26 languages and sold more than 8 million copies, and was also adapted into a TV series that was a national sensation. Congratulations to our honorees.
Thank you, Andrea, and thanks for your leadership and for founding this organization. So now let's meet some of the people that we're going to honor tonight. First, let's meet Angeli Kimbo. Angeli is a rising senior at Hillwood High School here in Nashville. She's involved with the Mayor's Youth Council and was recently appointed to serve as one of the student voices on the Metro's Nashville School Board. Let's listen to why Angeli explains why our government officials need to include student voices in decision-making progress here in the city of Nashville.
I have been a part of the Mayor's Youth Council for Nashville since I was a sophomore, and what that is basically overseeing the behind the scenes of a lot of events in Nashville, and that's usually student-led, incorporating and empowering student voice and student leadership. But now I feel like this is more driven towards my school district, and that would affect not only me but students who are also in my community. So my main issue or regard that I want to bring forth to the school board revolves around mental health. So recently we have been living through a pandemic, and my school has gone through virtual learning and a hybrid type of learning. And maybe this upcoming school year will go fully back in person, but there are still a lot of uncertainties, and with that comes uncertainties with mental health, not only for students but for teachers and staff that usually go unnoticed. It has taken a pandemic for mental health to be considered, and I don't think it should have taken COVID for administration or higher ups to consider the mental health of their students and people in their school. I do wish to be a part of this activist community, whether that would be through environmental justice or animal rights or human rights. I hope to major in either political science or psychology to become a healthcare attorney. I wanted to do something in the health field, but I knew that to be a lawyer or to study politics was something that I'm passionate about, and it was something that I had to discover on my own. It didn't necessarily come naturally to me, but being a part of this program and being a part of different academic competitions and classes at school made me realize that something in the law field would be something that I want to do.
And Angeli is with us tonight. Congratulations, Angeli. Thank you for your passion and your commitment for this community. It's great to see you here. To meet our next honoree, we'll be traveling to Memphis, Tennessee. Trinity Jenkins is the founder and leader of Germantown High School's She Leads program in partnership with the Girl Scouts to provide leadership experience for high school girls that takes learning beyond the classroom. Let's watch it and learn more about Trinity.
I'm involved in a lot of different community service type projects, and I really do care about my city and how I was brought up. I was always brought up to be kind and respectful to others, regardless of race, age, sexuality, all that kind of good things. But what inspired me to work with this is basically I've heard, a lot of different stories. I've seen friends be in relationships that weren't, kind of good. They were always arguing or anything, something like that. She Leads was inspired by Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts sent me an email at the beginning of the school year, and they asked me if I was willing to start a club at Germantown for a She Leads chapter, which is the exact same thing as Girl Scouts, except you do not have to be a Girl Scout to be in the club. It's a leadership program for girls 9th through 12th grade, and it's a leadership program where we learn about different things within our community, and we learn how to, develop as young women. I kind of think it's like a 50-50 situation with my generation. Half of us, we like to see a change in our community and society, and then you have some that are like, guided towards, well, how does this benefit me? Most of them don't understand that the way we impact our community now could also lead to a better future for our entire community and possibly for our entire state. I feel like as people see what all I'm involved in and what I do, and they join themselves and see, well, hey, I kind of like this, and then they see that they're involved to be a leader too. If they like the project, they'll continue on and, start projects of their own. And it helps them, become a leader, step outside their comfort zone, and do everything that they want to do as well.
And congratulations to Trinity for her leadership and for her work with the Girl Scouts. It's my pleasure to introduce our next honoree, Braxton Coleman. Braxton attends Middle Tennessee State University and it's founder of MTSU Black Caucus. Last year, Braxton led the effort to rally student organizations across MTSU's campus to organize food and clothing drives along with the collection and distribution of PPE materials needed for the community to combat the COVID-19 pandemic.
My mom taught economics and government for well over a decade here in Nashville, and that really rubbed off on me. Of course, I learned about economics, but she was really my foundation for politics. The earliest memory I have is election night in 2008, watching all the states turn blue for Barack Obama. Founding the Black Caucus, ironically, it happened while I wasn't even in school. I had financial issues that past spring, so I couldn't re-enroll. I had to take a gap semester or whatever. But that didn't stop it. It started out, I had the idea, and instead of just trying to push it as one person, I went around and asked members of the orgs themselves. I was like, hey, how would you feel if we got some more communication going between all the black orgs on campus, got a dialogue started, got all the calendars aligned. They loved it. And I was like, all right, if you like this idea, push it to your president, push it to your e-board. That way, when I come to them, it's not just me talking. They've already had the ideas implanted, so they feel like they came up with it themselves. So it went really well. It sparked like wildfire. My hope is that I'll still hold the same values, and that I can bring that into the actual building, Change has to come from all sides. It is necessary that it come from the outside. You have to demand from the outside because the inside will never see the whole picture. But you also have to have help from within. You can scream and demand and shout from the streets all day, but if there isn't at least one ally on the inside, we can't get nearly as much change as we'd hope for. So my hope is to be that help on the inside while carrying those values from the outside.
Braxton joins us in person to receive his award. Congratulations, Braxton, and good luck in the future. Thank you. It's so inspiring to hear from all of you tonight. This is really a great moment, and we're glad to see all of you who have come. And before we go to our next honoree, let's visit another one of our board members who's hosting a watch party at her home this evening. Let's welcome Kim Hatley and her guest. Kim is the Vice President at HCA Healthcare, and she also serves as the Secretary for You Have the Power Board of Directors. And guess what? it's Kim's birthday. Happy birthday, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome from the Hatley home. I'm here with my HSA colleagues. And please know, HSA Healthcare is extremely honored to be one of the sponsors for this evening's event. Congratulations to all the deserving honorees. And a special thank you to Andrea. She does so much for the Nashville community, and we appreciate all the wonderful things she does for us. So, you have the power. We educate, advocate, and empower to help prevent and reduce violent crime. It's a wonderful event. It's great to get the notoriety. We're on the front page of the Tennessean today. So congratulations to everyone. And thank you so much, Victor and team, for hosting this event tonight.
Well, Kim, thank you. And thanks for all your hard work on the board of You Have the Power. And have a happy birthday and enjoy tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm hosting my own birthday party.
So let's meet our next awardee. Sydney Floyd. Sydney is a 14-year-old student here in Nashville who founded a nonprofit called Jumbled Dreams, Changing Lives, an organization dedicated to the power of volunteerism. Sydney's goal was specifically targeting young teens like herself to help them learn and experience how they can change lives through volunteer service. As most of you know, in March of 2020, tornadoes caused severe destruction throughout the city of Nashville. And during the period after the tornadoes, Sydney became a whirlwind herself, assembling a corps of young volunteers who gathered food, clothing, supplies to some of our hardest hit neighborhoods. Sydney is a 2021 Mary Catherine Strobel Volunteer Award recipient. And here's a little more about Sydney.
Generation Z is a whole new level. I mean, we are creating tough conversations. We are creating a positive environment for change. And some people, in the older generations, sometimes they're like, well, you guys are just stirring up problems. But that's not true. We're uncovering these problems to make a difference, and we're uncovering this for positive social change, which we know we can do. And I think seeing all of my friends and seeing the community around me in the world is so empowering to see that I'm not alone in this, that more people like me want to make a difference. Because when I first started out when I was younger, when I was 13, there wasn't that many. But in the past 2 years, I've seen so many people want to make a difference, and so many people start their own organizations who haven't before, and I think that's incredible. It's more than just teenagers. I think it's the whole world that we need to have a call to action to, because teenagers can only do so much. Our age limits us a lot, and we need parents and we need adults to help us out. But we're also very independent. I'm a very independent person, but I love having my mom by my side, and I think having families by each other's side is so much more empowering to everyone else.
Congratulations, Sydney, and congratulations on all the great work that you've done. At 14, you've got a long life ahead of you, and I'm really anxious to see what's in store for you in the future. All right, so I would now like to introduce you to a young woman who hails from Atlanta, Georgia, but is currently studying at Fisk University here in Nashville. Kayla Willis used a $5,000 gift that she received when she was featured on the Steve Harvey talk show to establish a More Than Numbers scholarship program and an initiative called Going Against the Grain. Both organizations work with high school students to make sure that their dream of receiving a college education can be realized. Let's meet Kayla.
I began being a person of selfless service my high school career. I noticed that there was a change needed within my environment, and I decided to help, with that. I started this club called Going Against the Grain, which is a social club for minority injustices. And when I say minorities, I mean all minorities. Minorities within race, social status, sexual orientation, gender, like whatever you can think of. We were advocating for everyone. And with that, we decided to bring the community advocacy on all platforms, and that led me to a lot of opportunities in life. Really doing everything that I'm doing now, but to a higher capacity. I always say that my purpose on this earth is to help others and serve others. And as long as I'm doing that every day, I have been fulfilled. But I would love to be at a point where it is a career of mine to run more than numbers and be able to help not only 40 students, but 400 students or 4,000 students, you know, or going against the grain, be in schools that I've never even heard of, or be in the top schools like Harvard or UCLA, or, you know, just having that opportunity for everything that I've done and just really been passionate about. And I knew that when I was given the $5,000 that I could not just use it for myself, I had to give back to those who may have been in my situation. And with that, I started the More Than Numbers Youth Program Incorporated, which is a 501c3 nonprofit public charity that provides resources and tools to high school students as they begin their journey to their next education.
Congratulations, Kayla. You are our hope. You are the future. Thank you. Ian Hooper is our next honoree. With his involvement with the Urban Bicycle Food Ministry, I'll say it again, the Urban Bicycle Food Ministry, Ian chose to combine his love of cycling with the need in our community to feed those who have no meals. Since May of 2020, he has logged more than 130 hours of service, biked hundreds of miles, and touched countless lives. Here's Ian's story.
I did it on my birthday because I felt like just because it was my birthday, the world's not going to stop for me. And these people on the streets are not going to stop being hungry just for me. And I know my life I had to put aside just because these problems in the world are still going on. So I had to put that aside and realize that I was not the problem at hand, these people were at the time. It feels like I just started a few days ago. I forget how long it's been. I forget that I've been doing it like 2 days a week for the last year. So no, it feels like I just started yesterday on it. So, but I'd take nothing back. Every hour was worth it. I don't regret anything when it comes to this. I feel like the observers that look at the homeless community, they're just going off of what they see. They're going off of just the crime and stuff like that, and the poverty rate and stuff like that. But they're not taking the time to really understand their story. And I feel like that's where the lines start to get blurred, because you're not really taking the time like we are to get to know them and what they've been through. Because a lot of them have been through a lot. A lot of them past family issues. A lot of them have been kicked out of the house. A lot of them have just been going through so much, and it's not our job to judge them and stuff like that. Number one would probably be the community that I surround myself with, the people that do it, with my best friend, basically my brother, who's the person who actually got me into this, who invited me to go one time. And then the community of everyone that does it, it's just amazing. They're so welcoming to newcomers and stuff like that. And then, yeah, I'd say just the people that we surround ourselves with.
Ian Hooper, congratulations, and thanks for all your hard work. And now to our final two honorees. And we're honored to present with this evening Cheryl Serrano and Regina Ciprian, two friends whose powerful articles in Girls Right Nashville's teen takeover editions of the Contributor newspaper took the mission and the message of Girls Right at its word.
Because if I can help people in one moment when I need it, someone can help me. And I said, thank you. You help me, I help you. Everyone can help you. Everyone can help me. Only if you want. No, it's not an obligation to help people, but I really like help people when they need it, because if you do not nothing and nobody can help them, who going to help them? So I think to help people help me and help the people who need it. So I think help people is good. If you want to help the poor, you need to start help the person who is close to you, like your mom, your dog, your neighbor, or even your teachers. We clean the room or clean whatever he needs help or she. So for help the world, you need to start help the persons who is close to you.
Sherilyn and Regina, congratulations. So as you can hear, we have a small audience in this very large church here, but I want to give all of our award winners one more round of applause, and you can give them a round of applause at home. I just want to say that to all of you and to those family and friends who are with you tonight, you inspire all of us with your work and your commitment to helping other people and to making our world better. It inspires us, it gives us hope, and we're very proud of you, and we're honored that you could be with us tonight to accept this award, and it's great to see you. And we have so much hope for our future based on the sort of work that you've done. So all of your work and all of the organizations that you work with are proud of you and are proud of the work that you've done. So we congratulate you again. We're glad you're here, and thank you for being a part of You Have the Power, the Powerhouse Awards. Let me just mention as we close, I first of all want to thank Victor Wynn, who really put on a great program during the middle of COVID in very difficult circumstances. So Victor, as always, thank you for everything you do for You Have the Power, and thanks for doing this. And Andrea and Kathy and all of the volunteers and all the staff at You Have the Power, thank you. This recording is going to live on Facebook's website, on the Facebook page for You Have the Power. So if you want to send other people and they can hear more about You Have the Power, go to our Facebook or our web page for You Have the Power. And if you want to donate to You Have the Power based on some of the things you've seen tonight, you can go to our website at youhavethepower.com and you can make a donation. Hopefully next year we'll be able to meet all together. We're looking forward to that, moving forward. But again, thanks to all of you who are watching from home for the work you've done and for your contributions to You Have the Power. We'll see you next year. Thanks very much for watching.